Hey, everybody. It's Eric J. Olson, and I am here for another live episode of the Managing Partners podcast, where we speak with America's top law firm managing partners to find out what they're doing to grow their firm and to fill their case pipeline. And today, I have Janice Miller with me. Hey, Janice.
Hey, Eric. Good morning. How are you guys today?
I'm doing great. Appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
Well, let me introduce the audience to you just a little bit. Janice Miller is the managing partner of Miller Haga and is a highly recognized legal advisor with over 25 years of experience as an innovative general counsel. She represents the firm's clients in business transactions, real estate leasing, entertainment, intellectual property, licensing, hospitality, and the emerging legal field of unmanned aerial systems, also known as drones. She recently authored a new book named Coopertition, Cooperation Between Competitors for the Benefit of All, which is now available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And let me show the audience exactly what it looks like.
There you go.
That is the book right there, available on Amazon. So tell us a little bit about the book.
Thanks, Eric. So the notion of cooperation came up just in speech with colleagues over a period of time. And it's basically that competitors can work cooperatively together to benefit their clients. We say that having competitors, it's really acrimonious, but it really doesn't have to be. And right before COVID happened, I was having lunch with a couple of colleagues who are also authors, and they said to me, you got to write a book about this concept. I was at Universal Studios for 20 plus years, and they said, write a book, tell people about your experiences and how you've moved the law firm from nothing to where you are now. And I said, yeah, when in my spare time from 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning? And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And as a result of COVID, I had a little extra time and started thinking about the best way to do this and get the message across that it's okay to work cooperatively with your competitors in a variety of different ways. And that's how the book came about. It's a short book, 108 pages, based on the alphabet. So from A to Z, chapter A is always a consigliere, be kind, confidently refer, deep connections, embrace the suck, and so on and so forth.
No, that's great. I believe in the concept. I just came back from a conference last week. And of course, I was there trying to get business and speak to the attendees. But our competitors were there. And I always take the opportunity to go talk to them, say hi. If I can, swap contact information, because you just never know what opportunities will arise that they need help with, or that you need to reach out to them for whatever reason. And then I think it's just a good idea to swap war stories and best practices. There's enough to go around.
Let me give you a great example of that. And that's absolutely spot on. Over COVID, for the past 18 months, a dear friend and colleague of mine, Laura Withrow of the Withrow Employment Law Firm here in LA, has held an employment lawyers roundtable where all of the employment lawyers get together and talk about all the changes in the law, best practices. They become a mastermind. Now, think of this. These are groups of people that do exactly the same thing. They vie for the same clients. You're not worried. They check their ego at the door. It's like, okay, how can we help our clients? What do you know that I didn't hear this week? What do I know that you didn't hear this week? And same thing across all platforms, not only from a legal perspective, but across all disciplines as well.
Yeah, there's an amazing amount of knowledge you could acquire just by talking to others in your industry. And again, there's plenty to go around, So good for you. I really like the title as well. I think that's pretty clever. So good stuff.
Thank you.
Well, besides writing a book in your spare time, what else is there to know about you? Like, can you tell us a little bit about you and your firm?
Sure. So as I mentioned, I was at Universal Studios for 20 years, Disney even before that. Our firm is a sort of an offshoot of that. We do everything from startup to wind down and everything in between. So we're business transactional lawyers. If you think of writing something down and putting it on paper and then having somebody mess it up, you call us both times, right? My husband says to me, but these people, they call you and then they call you again and then they change their minds again and again. And I say, honey, that's how we stay in business, right? That's how it works. So anything from a business transactional perspective, and as you mentioned, Eric, also I handle a lot of real estate and leasing from my time at Universal. We do mergers, acquisitions, And we do some work in the, as you mentioned, the area of drones.
Very nice. That's great. What are some different ways that you go about getting new clients?
Sure. I belong to several networking groups. So I'm a group leader in one of those networking groups. I'm guesting at different groups, speak. I do a lot of speaking, which I enjoy very much on different topics, not only the book, but buy-sell agreements, how to form a corporation, real estate and leasing, what needs to be in a lease or not. I've spoken for national groups as well as local bar associations, et cetera, et cetera. So that's one way. Another way is word of mouth. And, through these networking groups, it's been 7 years since I've been out on my own now with partners. You build, and again, referring back to the book, you build deep relationships and deep connections. So these have become my friends.
Yeah.
And so we're always thinking of each other. Another thing in the book, keep your ear to the ground. You listen for what people need. And I try to be the one-stop shop. I'm a huge football fan. So I try to be the quarterback for all of my clients and people that are here to me. And if I need special teams, I go out to my special teams.
So lots of relationship building for sure. Referrals are
Correct.
great. We love referrals here. And,
Sure.
and a lot of our guests are all about referrals. And they are hands down the best kind of new business for sure. Are you doing any kind of like outbound marketing at all to try to get people that maybe don't know about you yet?
So we're a business transactional firm. We're not necessarily consumer to consumer. We get a lot of our business and referrals from other professionals. So we have a website, it's robust, and we use that, but we don't do any search engine optimization or things like that. For our perspective, because we spend our money from a networking perspective and just mining those areas of potential referral bases.
Gotcha. All right, cool. So let's talk about like when someone reaches out to you or a referral is made, there's usually a period of time between when you find out about this person and when they become a client. And is there some sort of a nurturing process that they go through? And also what kind of tools do you use in order to manage all these people that are coming through your organization?
It's a great question. We'll do the first one first. I'm a firm believer in you make contact with people immediately, within several hours if I can. I'm a workaholic, so I stay up till all hours of the night trying to do everything, especially if it's a new potential client. Again, confidently refer. You need to make sure that you're on top of things and you reply to emails all the time. Even if it's to say, I can't get to you right now, tell me when I can get back to you, right? So that's one way. So through this nurture process, it's an immediate contact back, whether through email or picking up the telephone, through the referral source or direct to the client. That's number one. Number two is we have, I hate the word free, but I'll put it in air quotes. I don't charge for my initial consultation. I'm happy to give at least 20 to 30 minutes of my time to hear somebody out to find out whether or not we're the right fit. If we're not the right fit, I got a guy. Right? I know different people that I can refer folks to.
That's right.
So do that. And then after that, and after we have that initial conversation, Eric, then what we do is California law requires that we enter into a written engagement letter, and we send the engagement letter. We take a retainer, which goes into our client trust account, and then we start the process with the client.
Excellent. That's great. I love it. Yeah. And I think you're absolutely right about getting back in touch with people as fast as possible within minutes, if you can, right?
Sure. Absolutely.
And I've heard some business owners and salespeople say, well, I don't want to appear desperate, right? So I'm just going to wait. And I think it's a big mistake. The sooner you can reach out and start to communicate with that person, the better. I got a call literally yesterday from someone. I went to their website and submitted the form 3 weeks ago, and they finally called me back, and he didn't even know what I was submitting about. I put it in the form. All I got apparently was my name and phone number. Big mistake.
Big mistake.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. I look at those as lost opportunities, right? And
Absolutely.
if you want to grow your business and be responsive and be a good client lawyer or whatever profession that you're in person, you have to show them that you can do the work, because if you're not getting back to them right away, then what's your work product going to look like?
Yeah, exactly.
So first impressions, or that halo effect, very, very important in my estimation.
Yeah, I completely agree. And even if like you're just slammed, right? You can't help the person. You kind of said it before. Even if you can't answer the email them back and say, I'll get back to you soon.
Right.
So it's the same with like, a lead or referral. I think it's very, very important, even if you can't take them, to follow up and say, I'm sorry, we are completely booked up. Let me refer you to someone else.
Agree 100%.
Yeah,
Agree
that's
100%.
great. Which is another reason why it's good to know your competitors, right? Because if you're going to
Exactly.
make a referral, especially for the same thing you do, you want it to be a quality referral. That
Hands
reflects
down.
on you.
Right. Confident early refer. Chapter C
Yep.
in the book.
I love it. What are your growth plans for the next few years?
Well, thanks again for asking. As a matter of fact, we're bringing on a new of counsel to the firm who hopefully eventually will become involved with the firm more substantially, either as a partner or some other way. And just continuing to grow through grassroots opportunities like this, through pushing the book, through continuing on with networking and getting out through different organizations, and then just growing the firm.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Thank you.
So as a digital marketing agency that works with a lot of different law firms, we're always interested to know what, from a marketing perspective, so not necessarily the referrals, we talked about that, but from a marketing perspective, whether it's your website or social media or anything, what do you think is working well these days? And what is also not working all that well that maybe you stopped doing?
Again, really, really smart question. I'm using social media slightly differently. I think it's real important to know who I am and who our firm is. So I combine a little bit of business and pleasure on Facebook, and to a little less extent Instagram. But I think it's important for my clients to know who I am, or prospective clients, or remember, my referral sources are my networking groups, and I've connected, hooked up, done whatever, depending on the website or the platform that you're on does. I get to show them a little bit what I'm doing, and included in those posts are some of the awards that you mentioned that I've been fortunate enough to win or been involved with. And when people see that, look, we published about the book, right? I have people from high school reading the book at the pool, posting about this. It's grassroots viral efforts that's going about. So for me, that's working really well, is not using traditional marketing, but using grassroots marketing on that.
Yeah.
What's conversely not working that well is I'm not using social media, I don't think, well enough from a pure business perspective, that I'm potentially looking at using to help grow the practice more traditionally. But as I said, we're not business to consumer direct. We're not a personal injury lawyer. We're not a criminal defense lawyer, right? We're business transactional folks, and people don't necessarily initially come to our website to confirm who we are. They do afterwards, for sure. They go like you did. They go to validate who we are, to make sure, hey, they do have a website and they're not talking, what.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think you're absolutely right. So typically it's, things like search engine optimization and advertising that get you the attention. And then they end up on your website and they validate using your website. But also I found they validate using social media.
Correct.
And I think if you're using social media for business and to show some of your personal side, I think that's a really strong mixture. And a lot of the influencers that I follow online do that extensively. So they'll show all sorts of different parts of their life, and it is one of those things that is a little bit uncomfortable, especially for professionals like lawyers, because a lot of times it's all business all the time, but people want to know the people they're about to engage with. So I think it's important to show a little bit of yourself. It doesn't have to be every meal that you made or something like that, and you can show as much or as little as you want, but it makes a lot of sense to show a little bit. So
I think so. And then using LinkedIn for more traditional B2B type social media.
Yeah, LinkedIn is an interesting one. Certainly B2B is good there. It feels weird when people share too much personal stuff there,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
that's why you use the other platforms. It's sort of like the back of the card type exposure.
Exactly. Well, Janice, this has been really interesting. I appreciate your time. What is a good way for someone to get in touch with you if they want to pick your brain, they want to find out more about the book, or maybe they have a case for you?
Thanks. Well, we love to talk to anybody, like I said. MillerHaga.com is the website for us. Our phone number here in the Calabasas area of Los Angeles is 818-591-4200. Thanks,
All right,
everyone.
everybody, make sure that you reach out to Janice if you need help. I'm sorry, I almost blanked there. And like, if you are looking to listen or watch more episodes like this, you can go to our website at arraylaw.com/podcast. We have a backlog of about 100 different episodes up on the website at this point. And if you're interested in spicing up your digital marketing for your law firm, check out our services, which include websites, social media, search engine optimization, and online ads at arraylaw.com. All right. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. Hang on one second. Okay.
Thanks, Eric.